Hey YouTube, this is MVP67 here with my first video tutorial on how to restore your device how to restore your iPhone that has the 6.15 baseband. Now, your prerequisite is that you already must be jailbroken, and as recommended, you probably should wipe your device if you know how. Let me just show it. Again, this is pretty much an iPhone 3G. Even though it isn't mine, it's my friend's, just using it as a test dummy. Again, this can work on either 4.1 or 4.2.1, whichever one. And yeah, you must be on the latest baseband or the iPad baseband, which is the 6.15 baseband. Now then. Cover. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, like I said, your prerequisite must be you must be jailbroken by any program. And like I said earlier, you have to have the 6.15 baseband. Now, say you need to wipe your device for any reason, like to update your firmware, to update your firmware, to wipe your device because of either a bad music file or a bad app, or just for any reason to wipe your device, and you're on a 6.15 baseband. If you notice that the iPhone Dev Team's blog says that if you have your device on the 6.15 baseband, you won't be able to restore it to a regular firmware, so you'll only restore it to a custom-made firmware. Alright then, so let's get started. Now, you should have the latest version of iTunes. Me, on the other hand, I have the beta version 10.5. for iOS 5 beta reasons. Now then, you should have at least probably 4, maybe 5 files. You should have your original firmware or your custom-made firmware based on Snowbreeze or PwnageTool. And the methods I'm going to try out, that I will try out in this video, is going to be using the Snowbreeze method. But there are also 3 other methods. There's just running green poison right over it. There's running red snow based on the just boot tethered, and then Snowbreeze, which is to actually wipe your device of everything, then pretty much restore it from there. There is the tiny umbrella method, but I don't think it will work. If it does though, just please leave a comment or just tell me ahead of time that it will work, that this method does work. And another thing, just in case you need to run, is pretty much Windows Task Manager, just in case iTunes misbehaves. So I'll have the download files in the description below. So the method I will try today, like I said, is Snowbreeze. So then once you've downloaded, just run Snowbreeze as is. You don't have to extract it. And then you should pretty much browse for your firmware. Again, the firmware could be on your desktop if you so choose to, but for my organizational purposes, I put it inside a folder where I know it's located at. So that way I don't have to constantly waste space on my desktop. Now, if you have firmware before 4.2.1 and you did not use the 6.15 baseband, just preserve the preserve the baseband and then jailbreak your device. But since I didn't preserve this baseband, all you would need to do as of now is just to run expert mode, and then just go through general. And for the iPhone 3G, you can just pretty much, the springboard modifications are pretty much just an optional. Like if you want background wallpapers, your battery percentage, or your multitasking, you could select those. But for all iPhone models, it is recommended that if you don't have a SIM card, that you leave activate the iPhone checked, because there will be no other way to activate the iPhone unless you get another SIM card. But if you do have a SIM card, I would recommend doing this just in case you don't have a valid SIM card. And as an optional, you could just install SSH, but you can always just you can always just have open SSH as a file when you download it from Cydia. And then continue. Now when you're done, just click on build IPSW and then just run it. But since I have already done this before, well, you know what, I'll just go through it. So then pretty much everything is just gonna run as is. Like, it'll just extract the firmware. And Snowbreeze 2.2.1 did have the option for Pac-Man or Spinner, but Pac-Man doesn't work, and of course Spinner is just boring to watch. So pretty much wait until on the bottom it says cleaning, or cleaning up IPSW. And when you're done, it should be located anywhere on your desktop that has an empty space. Now, say that you don't have time. You need to make your restore quick. All you need to do is just run green poison. You can run it without just extracting anything. And then it'll ask you if you're jailbreaking the Apple TV. Click on no, because if you do, it will fail. Then pretty much just prepare to jailbreak, going into DFU mode. But yeah, my phone is in DFU mode, as you can see. But for some reason, I don't think it can actually identify my device. So when you do have it in DFU mode, just jailbreak it, and everything should patch over. And then your device should restore to the current state it was before you restored. And another thing, as just a forewarning, I would recommend backing up everything, like your data, your apps, your music, etc., just in case, of course, if something goes wrong. But in this case, this method will wipe everything. So you will have to back up your apps. Now, if your apps have been cracked, like via Installous, there is a way to install them without having to download them from Installous, then wait till it installs, and etc. All you would need is just to find your IPA, and then using iFunbox, just install it from there. I'll have a video tutorial on that later on. But for now, since it's creating the IPSW, once it's done, Snowbreeze will then prompt you to use iReb. And when you do have it, make sure your device is set to DFU mode. But just in case, just run the helper. But since I already have mine on DFU mode, I could just click on start and it'll go through everything. Oh, apparently I don't have it on DFU mode. Okay, so pretty much all you need to do is just follow the directions. Just see here, home and power button for around good 10 seconds. Then the home button for the rest of the time, which is 30 seconds. And the reason why it's 30 seconds is just in case you haven't installed the iPhone drivers on your computer. It'll give you enough time to do that. Okay then, so it is currently in DFU mode, and it's pretty much just about to load up everything. Now again, you will have to watch the screen of your device, of your iPhone. It'll go gray a couple times, and then afterwards, hold on. Then it'll go to a green screen. And of course, Snowbreeze will tell you that your device is on the green screen. So press OK, and then run iTunes. You can exit out Snowbreeze when you're done. And then, of course, it detected that it was it's in recovery mode. So I'm gonna press OK. Now then, in order to browse for your custom firmware, you're gonna have to hold down the Shift, and then just left click on Restore. So again, that's just the Shift key, and then left click on Restore. Now then, find the firmware you want to go to or restore. I have two currently, because there's one I made before and the other one. Let's just use the one I made before. Make it a lot easier. So then, of course, now it's just extracting the entire thing, the entire software, and it'll go through the process. Okay. So now that your device is done restoring, at least it should restore without any problems, then the message will exit, and your device will boot up for Snowbreeze with the custom boot logos you chose. Now when it is done, you should see your device name pretty much like around here. So when it's done, you can then just pretty much resync everything, and yeah. And when your device does boot up again, you're gonna have to go to Cydia and install UltraSnow for those who have a SIM card. For those who don't, UltraSnow is pretty much an optional, unless you want to run any Wi-Fi tethering programs or USB tethering programs, etc. And there you have it. Fully jailbroken, fully activated, if necessary. And there you are. So then as your device profile, or as like your own profile, you can choose whatever. But since I do have a developer account, I'm pretty much going to choose developer. You don't necessarily have to have an account to be a developer, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Let me just get my Wi-Fi password on. When it becomes active. And again, of course, I'm pretty much running my Wi-Fi on my Evo 4G, which of course I'll be doing video tutorials on those as well. For example, ROM ratings. What else? ROM ratings, how to hack it if you're still on Froyo, and a couple other things. Of course, I'll get my password on in a moment. And then pretty much, yeah, so there's no point in me wasting my time trying to just install UltraSnow. But when you do have UltraSnow and everything, then Cydia will prompt you to reboot your device, and you should pretty much have your carrier, your signal strength, and whatnot. So pretty much this was a video tutorial on how to restore a device that has a 6.15 baseband. Don't forget to rate, don't forget to comment, and if you so choose to, please subscribe in order to receive the latest and most thorough tutorials on how to jailbreak your iPod or iPhone, or how to root and install ROMs on your HTC Evo 4G, and app reviews and whatnot. So this is WPIP67, and so long.